I'm making steak with pink peppercorn sauce, an indulgent treat that's absolutely delicious but so easy to make. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is get on with cooking the steak. I'm using a ribeye steak, which is by far my favourite cut of steak. It's got that perfect balance between texture and flavour with a great marbling of fat. And with steak, fat equals flavour. Right, so get some heat under a pan, take some olive oil and just drizzle a little bit over the top. So I've oiled the steak and not the pan. It's really important you do that, otherwise the steak can be swimming in fat. You want just enough to get a really crisp crust on the outside. Next up, some sea salt and plenty of black pepper. And then just turn the steak over and do the same on the other side. Use a heavy base pan, get it really, really hot, and then lay the steak away from you. And that way, the fat's not going to splatter up into your face and get on your clothes. At this stage, just don't touch the steak at all. Leave it to do its thing, and it's going to build up a lovely crust on the outside. If you keep shaking the pan, what you're going to do is get air between the steak and the pan, and that's going to end up steaming the steak, and it'll go all kind of grey and flabby. And already that's started to caramelise on the outside and smelling amazing. One more turn. So that's what you're looking for. This fat's getting really crispy and that's going to be packed full of flavour. Now start to introduce some flavours to the pan. So we've got some garlic and then thyme and rosemary. Now take the pan back away from the heat and add in some butter. You don't want to do this too early on because otherwise the butter will burn. Tilt the pan and then just spoon that butter over the top. Those herbs smell incredible, really, really fragrant. Now turn the heat off. Now the steak's ready to go in the oven. If you haven't got an oven-proof frying pan, just put it onto a heavy baking tray. And by cooking the steak in the oven for a few minutes, it's just going to allow everything to calm down and just cook really, really evenly, rather than all that aggressive heat on the hob. Oh, it smells incredible. So just give it a shake and pop it onto a warm plate to rest. Now really, resting the steak is the most important part of cooking it. By resting it, you're going to allow everything to relax, go really, really lovely and soft and tender. While that's resting, take a frying pan and then grab some of these, pink peppercorns, and just take a pestle and mortar and give them a rough crush. And straight into the frying pan. That's just going to warm them up and release all those lovely essential oils. Next up, a bit of booze. I'm using Madeira in this. You could use red wine, but I think that can overpower the pink peppercorns, so Madeira works brilliantly. You really want to burn off that alcohol. By doing that, you're getting rid of all the acidity in there and all the harshness of the alcohol, but leaving all those wonderful Madeira flavours there. And next up, some beef stock. And then in with some mushroom ketchup. This has got an amazing savoury flavour. Very similar to Worcester sauce, but it's a great flavour enhancer. Now bring that to the boil and then let it simmer until it's reduced by about half. Time to give them some cream. If you're having steak, you might as well be indulgent. And then just swirl that gently around the pan. So just again, bring that to simmer and then reduce it down by about half. And that is exactly what you're looking for. Lots of bubbles on the surface. It's thickened up beautifully. You don't have to do this, but I always do this when I'm making a steak and sauce. All these beautiful resting juices are going to be full of flavour. So just pour them in as well and finish with a little bit of butter. It's just going to add an extra bit of richness to the sauce. And it's also going to help to gloss things up a bit as well. And then just a pinch of sea salt. You should always season sauces like this right at the end. If you season at the start, what's going to happen is as you reduce it down, that salt level is going to increase and it's going to just become too salty. And that's it. Ready to serve with some chips and salad with steak and pink peppercorn sauce.